In this video, I'm going to show you guys how to find more unique chord voicings using chords that you probably already know and just offshooting from there. I'll show you a couple ways to do this. So let's get right into it. I'm going to start with a C major 7. Let's do this voicing right here on the A through the B string. You guys probably know this one. So let's take this through the inversions to refresh on that, just so we're all on the same page. And then we're going to take this through a couple more steps. The last step really helps you get the most mileage out of these chords, so stick around for that. In this chord, I have a root, a third, a fifth, and a seventh. So 1, 3, 5, 7. So to find the next inversion, I'm going to move each of those intervals up to the next interval. So the 1's going to go to the 3, 3 is going to go to 5, 5 is going to go to 7, 7 is going to go to 1. So if I do that, 1 goes to 3 here, 5 goes to 7, 7 goes to 1, and 3 goes to 5. Gives me this shape here. Same 4 notes, just in a different order. I'll do that 2 more times to find the next 2 inversions. Then we're back to the top. And I'm doing this all on the same set of strings, but you can find different places to play these chords too. So that's just a simple major 7 chord, right? We got root, third, fifth, and 7th. That's all you need for major 7. What we're going to do is we're going to replace one of the notes with a tension note, or basically any note that's not the 1, 3, 5, or 7. This is where you can kind of experiment, but I'm going to take the third and replace it with a 2. So for this first voicing, instead of 1, 5, 7, 3, I'm going to have 1, 5, 7, 2. So it's like a C major 9, but there's no third in the chord, so it gives you that kind of suspended, ambiguous sound. Now if we take this chord through its inversions, it gives us a whole different set of chords. So instead of 1, 3, 5, 7, now I have 1, 2, 5, 7. So 1's going to go to 2, 5's going to go to 7, 7's going to go to 1, and 2's going to go to 5. So here's our first inversion here. Second inversion. Third inversion. And we're back to the top here. So just that one note changes the sound quite a bit. Now those are all C major 9 chords with no third. What you can also do to find more voicings is move this chord up the scale. And that will give you some minor and dominant versions of it as well. So if I move this up a C major scale, it looks like this. This is like a D7 sus2. In the context of C major, it's really a minor chord, but if we're playing out of context, there's no third in there, so that could be anything. That's sort of a weird one, but it's suggesting kind of an E Phrygian sound. F major 9 with no third. G7 sus2. A7 sus2, but really in the context of C major, kind of like an A minor. That's like an F triad over B if we look at those notes. But you could use that for like a B minor 7 flat 5. There's a flat 9 in the chord here and no third. And we're back to our C major. And then any of those other chords you can take through its inversions as well. So a lot you can do from just that one chord. If you're enjoying the video so far, you'll probably enjoy my guitar course. It's called Ultimate Chord Mastery. Links in the description. I left a discount code in there for you guys as well. Highly recommend you check that out if you want to master your chords up and down the neck. And let's get back into the video. So before we go into the last step, I just want to mention that you could have taken that initial C major 7 we started with and changed any of those notes to another tension note. Some of them will sound better than others, so that's just up to you to find what works. And with some of them, when you find the inversions too, you'll like certain inversions more than others. So even if you don't like the sound of that initial voicing that you find, there may be an inversion in there that you really like and that you end up using. So it's worth doing this process with as many chords as you can. Alright, so the last step is very important because it helps you figure out where you can actually use these chords. And you may think, oh, that's obvious. These are C major 9 chords, right? These ones that we just did. There's no third, but it's basically C major 9. So you could use it over pretty much any C major. And that's true, but you can also use these voicings to suggest other chords. The most common example of this would be the relative minor. So if I look at all these notes here, we saw what those notes are in relation to C. But if we look at those notes now in relation to A minor, so A being our 1, now these notes are the flat 3, the flat 7, the 9, and the 4. So over A, this voicing right here gives you like a minor 9 add 11 voicing, or minor 11 add 9, however you want to say that. So let's see what that sounds like over A. Some of those are hard to play, but an entirely different sound than over C, right? Now you can take those same 4 notes from the C major 9 with no 3rd chord, and you can figure out what purpose they serve over a bunch of different root notes. It doesn't have to be the relative minor. So off the top of my head, I know a few that work, but you could literally go through the chromatic scale and figure out what each of those notes represents over that root note. Or I could pick random notes. I could be like, all right, what does this sound like over A flat? So over A flat, you have a natural 3rd, natural 7, then a sharp 9, and a sharp 11. Kind of a cool, eerie sound. Over an F sharp, it almost works as like an F sharp minor 7 flat 5. You have a flat 5, flat 9, a 4, and a flat 6. It's pretty much a bunch of tensions there. Over F, you have a 5th, 9, sharp 4, and 6. So kind of an ambiguous sound there, but that 9 and sharp 4, sharp 11, and that 6 give you kind of a nice open sound. So the key here is just to experiment, have fun with it, see what these voicings work over. And again, you can do this with any voicing. And if you really want to dive into this sort of thing and master your chords up and down the neck, check out my guitar course. And if you enjoyed the video, please like, subscribe, leave a comment so that I can continue making videos like this for you guys. Leave any questions below. See you in the next one.